I'm trying to put money in your pocket, that crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. I'm always right. I'm always right. It's been a long day, I mean a long week, maybe a long year, so let's get something clear. We're gonna stock up on some party favors later on. Tell everybody they're invited, you should come along. Best to bring your good foot, ladies gonna be dancing on the ceiling. Cocky and appealing, possibly revealing, getting sideways like a bridesmaid as she vibrate. If you a lightweight, hope you hydrate. We gon' tip the bottles back, busting out the fat sacks. People wearing costumes, chewing on a mushroom, something like a wonderland. Understand? Going down the rabbit hole with my kinfolk to another land. Damn, I said we do it like this. Magic carpet riders on some third eye shit. Mr. Pine Cones come a long, long way, so everybody get sideways. Sing it. I can't wait till Friday. Everybody's getting sideways. Pass the bottle back my way. Everybody's getting sideways.
What is going on, believers? My name is Bleaves. This is Breakfast with Bleaves, and guess what? We are right now just en fuego. Crypto is on fire. You can see it. The market is absolutely soaring right now. We are going to go check on this in just 1 second, but I want to thank everybody who came in. Ulysses, good morning. Diggy, good morning. One Life, No Regret. Volt Inu to 0.002231 before December. Holy shit. If that happens, then we are basically going to set the world on fire. Happy Thursday, Edward. Can't wait till Friday because everybody's getting sideways. And I've got my Volt hat on, by the way. This will be the Volt hat that I'm using in the movie. So if anybody from the Volt fam wants to send me another hat, because I'm going to need it because this one's about to get bloody. So help a brother out. Good morning, Greg. Lorenzo, good morning. T-Rex, what is going on? Crypto B, good morning. We are now going to go look at the chart because holy shit. We are sitting here right now. Bitcoin is at 24,855. We have entered the golden pocket. We're in the golden pocket right now for going on hour 9. And as you've seen right here, we are still continuing to trend upward. Now, what we're waiting for right now and what I'm looking for at this point right now, just a few minutes ago, we achieved 24,929.99. That caused a little sell-off, and it left us in a little bit of a predicament because we didn't get to 25,000. Now, and the reason that matters is because 25,000 is going to liquidate. It's going to create some sell orders because people like to just do things at 25, like do things on the 1,000, right? So we're going to have this little bit of an issue at 25,000, and that's going to cause a dump to happen just as soon as we get in here. So I was hoping that would happen on that little run up just a few minutes ago, but you can see right here, guys, we have continued to do run ups every little while, and I can tell you this, Bitcoin looks like it is preparing for just a big sort of monster run. Now, I don't have this thing exactly right. I'm going to be touching as much as I can right here, right now. So this is what it's looking like. This is the trend line on the upside. So I'm anticipating that we're here at 25,000, probably this hour or next. There's going to be some retracement. Obviously, there'll be some retracement, but you know, we're in the next few hours, based on this line, by tonight, 25,000 maybe, 26,000. Look, this thing is going to get sent. We're in the golden pocket. The resistance has not 9 hours in this golden pocket is a very good sign. And the U.S. market, by the way, looking at the Dow overnight, and by the way, the Dow closed at 33,309, and Dow futures are up 274. This market is ready to soar. Now, That did not, by the way, apply. And you can look over here and you can see that didn't apply everywhere. Now the DXY, which you can see in the top right-hand corner over here, did drop, which is what we're expecting and what we're kind of hoping for. Is the strength of the dollar to decline just a little bit because it helps our allies. But the Dow Jones was up 535 points. The SPY closed at 419.9. All you stoners, man, you just missed it by 0.1 point. You could have celebrated. This could have been the day that you could have had an entire evening of, oh my God, we ended at 420, bro. That's so hot. That's so awesome. Wait a minute. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I love pizza. Or whatever it is that stoners do when they're talking about random stuff and investing. But moving on to Korea, Korea ended up 1.7% up on the day, 42 points. The Chinese market, this is where the Chinese market went. The Chinese market went absolutely out of its mind. And you can see here that it just ran and ran and ran from the time it opened. This was the close last night. This was the open, or this was the close the day before. This right here, this green candle right here, this is the open. All it did was soar. Then, unfortunately, we got to the European market. We got to the European market at 3 o'clock, like normal. And the one market that I was relying on that was going to take us to 20,000, or that was going to take us to a 20,000, a 2,000 Ethereum was the European market. And I was sure that the European market was going to have our backs, and they look like dog doo-doo. So, Europe, you let us down again. So, do better. Now, you can see here that the European market did end pretty much dead even on the day. And you know what? The American market might do the same thing. So, I'm not saying that it's totally the fault of the European market, but yes, I am. It is the entire fault of the European market. The European Union, you completely let us down today. You should have pumped this thing up. We would have been over 26,000 by now, and Ethereum would have been at 2,000. So it's your fault. I don't know who's the president of the European Union, by the way. Is there a president, or is there a king, or I don't even know. Like, somebody's in charge over there, and they need to do better. I'm looking at you. All right. Anyway, back to Bitcoin. We're at 24,831. There's going to be a little bit of pumping and stuff like that. We're going to keep our eye on it. But now let's talk about Ethereum. I have still not really put together. I haven't really realigned this chart. We just kind of stuck this candle out here, saying this is where the tops are. But really, we're looking for where the closes are, and the closes have been right in this area. And you can see here, we closed. This is the top. Then we closed over here, then we hit the top here, then we hit it here. So you're seeing the general trend is in the up direction. And over the next few hours, even if we continue to do what we're doing right now, and just so you can look at this with a bar pattern, let's say this is the last time we really kind of touched it. So let's take this and this and play this out and say that we go sideways for a little while. Can't wait till Friday. And that's what it looks like. Then we end up touching again, and we're probably going to be right here at 1988. This is about 4 o'clock today. If the market were to continue trending the way that it's going, then that's kind of what it looks like. And that would be the way it plays out. Now, if we take this out of the equation and we go look back at some of these bigger candles that we did play, and we draw it out just a little bit further and say that maybe this is our line here. This we played out there to this one right here. So if we take this one and kind of move it out and say that this is kind of how we trended out, then you're looking at, we're going to get over 2,000 later on tonight. Again, the markets have to do something good, and we have to get some of those big pumps. Now, by the way, these are not the big pumps that we got in order to drive it up, so I'm not expecting anything more than what we've been seeing in order to get us there. So 2,000 is definitely in range now. Go back to what we have been doing, and this is my trade, if you guys remember. Here we are. It's 27,344 for 16 Ethereum. That was at an average of 1709. So 27,344 is the number. And we are currently at 30,707. So it looks like we're up a little over $3,000 on this trade. I am still continuing to hold because I do think that we are not at the end of this run. I will sell before it gets down below 2,000. But this morning, and I was going to sell just to take profit, just to make sure that I had it. But now I'm feeling like, you know what? I'm just going to let the market do its thing for a little while and see if it plays out the way that I'm predicting. Because, hey, man, if I'm not predicting it and if I'm saying that that's what I think is going to happen, then maybe I should hold myself to that same standard, right? So 24,866. We're seeing that slow run up to test 25,000 one more time. And hopefully we get above 24,929 again this time going forward. Now, let's get back into the chat and see what is going on with everybody. Jared Crypto, good morning. Cornish, loving the green candles. We are all loving the green candles today. It is unbelievable what we're seeing right now in this market. I really wanted to see, and I'm really waiting because we keep getting told that we're in altcoin season. Now, all the details, all of the particulars say that we're in altcoin season. If that's the case, then where is that altcoin that's just supposed to go out of its mind and parabolic? We haven't really seen it yet. We've just seen some really good run on Bitcoin and some really good run on Ethereum. We did see Avalanche have a nice run. DOT has been struggling. Look at DOT. Other than being carried by the market, it has not done very well at all. When you start to compare DOT to some of these other tokens that have been moving, there's really no comparison. Solana has been like a straight up moonshot. So, there's a lot of misses still there in the market. We need that one big catalyst that's going to take something to just soar it into that top 10, soar it into maybe even the top 5. And something like Crow. Maybe it's not time for Crow yet. Crow seems to be moving. Look, it looks exactly like Ethereum right now. So Crow seems to be trending the same way that Ethereum is. Matic, the same thing, seems to have that Ethereum trend line. Luna Classic, that's going to take a while before anything plays out. Link is struggling. It seems like Link has got that DOT feeling, where it's just not moving upwards with the rest of the market. BNB is doing that, but I mean, let's look at BNB because BNB has been on just an absolute tear as of late. Remember, guys, we were talking about this down here at 200 just recently. What is it? July 27. It just seems like a couple days ago. It was at 240, and it is up to 332 right now. So that is one of those incredible. That's a 33% increase in a top 10 token over the course of, what is this, 12 days, 13 days? That's a big move. Avalanche. Oh, yeah, by the way, we're not looking at it. My bad. We're not really looking at the chart. But you know what? We talked about it. That's going to be close enough. Anyway, there hasn't been a breakout, and we haven't seen the breakout. What's up, Sakib? B Roots just called for Pulse to flip. Do you think? I don't know, man. I love Floki. So I mean, it's entirely possible. B Roots makes a lot of weird calls, man. Not bad, by the way. Like he's not in these things until the end. He's in until he makes a big chunk of money, and then he moves on. So I mean, it's possible to do it in like a very short period of time. So we never know what could happen. Cody Core, good morning. Good morning, Jay Manuel. Is it me, or does Bitcoin and ETH and Doge hit 420s and 69s and 666 a lot? Crypto whales have a sense. Yes, they absolutely do. Yep, they absolutely do. What is going on, Dickenzos? You know what? Matter of fact, speaking of the merge, it looked like there were a few issues in the Ethereum Gorley, there seemed to be it was successful. It was successful. It was successful. Now we're looking for that call. And if you didn't know, Intel wrote the job. Okay, nope. The real deal is been successfully completed. The merge is still scheduled for next month. We're okay. Okay, so between September 15 and September 20 is the date that we're going to see this. So it's now complete. This is the third and final testnet merge before transition. As a result, market cap just crossed over 225 billion, is up 9%, crossing the 1900 level. Okay, so it looks like it was a success. And yeah, Gorley has merged. So that means that it works. It's gone through all of the test nets. So now it's just a matter of going to live. So Ethereum is officially switching to proof of stake, and that is going to happen about 30 days from today. So there we are. It has been confirmed. The call came in a couple of hours ago. I think the call was like 5 a.m. this morning, but they made the call. And over here, you can see that on Twitter, all I'm doing is looking through Twitter here. But you can see that everybody is super excited about it. And the Gorley testnet has completed. So it looks like we are on the road to we're on the road to money. So shout out. All right, Bitcoin is retracing back down just a little bit. So is Ethereum. We're 15 minutes away from the American markets launching. So we'll see what happens over the next little while. When E5K, man, if we just got the confirmation that it's successful, as this news starts to leak and as we start to get people saying, oh no, this is going to be awesome, we're going to see it run. Look, I think that the next resistance point, 2445, we're going to have to see Bitcoin do the same. We're going to have to see it get up here in order for Ethereum to get where it needs to go. We're going to need Bitcoin to be pushing the entire market. But Ethereum does like to run on its own. So we're looking at a 3% pump on Bitcoin and a 3% pump on Ethereum. We should be seeing 4.5 to 5 points on Ethereum by this point. So, maybe we're going to see a run on Ethereum in just a little while. But it remains to be seen. The market's going to pump. We're going to see it. Risk asset. This is what it's all about. It's about risk asset. And these risk assets right now are looking more and more attractive. Not at these prices necessarily. They do look attractive at these prices, by the way. But this is the moment where people are going to want to start getting themselves situated and getting themselves back in. So you're going to start to see money trickling back into the market. And if we go look at CoinGecko, we can see that we're up 4%. We are back to a $1.2 trillion market cap. Remember, we were at 900 billion market cap not that long ago. So we've made significant strides. We are in the look. This is when I tell you that we're looking at a bull run, it's because there's two things. We're either in a bear run or a bull run. The end, right? Because we are a crypto of high risk. That means that we're a market of extreme. And that being the case, we are either in a bull market or a bear market. And I'm going to show you right now that we are in a bull market. This is what it looks like on Bitcoin. And here is the RSI. Now, this RSI is for months. So what we're looking at right now is Bitcoin for the last, where are we going back to here? It's 2015. So we're looking at Bitcoin right now for 7 years. Okay. 7 years. The lowest RSI that we got was a 42. And what happened when we got to this low RSI of a 42? That turned the corner right here and put us into this little bull run right here. And it lasted up here, which is where it went from 3,000 to 15,000. So we 5x'd Bitcoin at that point. Now what happens? Then the market dips back down and we hit our bottom over here. Now our bottom at this point was, it looks like 49.9 on the RSI, and that put us back down here at 78.85 on Bitcoin. And then what happened? Then we hit the switch and it went up. And as we went up, this is what happened. And we ended up with what? $64,000 Bitcoin. Now, look, we ended up with a $68,000, $69,000 Bitcoin. But guys, that right there, this, you see this RSI. So the Bitcoin, the bull market ended right here. And I know you guys can see this over here. We can all see this stuff right here that I'm talking about, okay? The bull market ended where this RSI went down. That was the end, okay? You can argue maybe that it lasted for one more month and you can take this candle, but it's on its way down, so you don't really include that candle. I'm telling you, the bull market ended May of 2021. We have been in a bear market now for 14 months, 15 months now. So we are deep into this bear market, and it's going to start to move back up because that's the way this thing goes. That's the way that it goes. Look at the number of candles that we have over here. Look, the only difference between this massive rundown, which was 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The only difference between this is that there was this institutional run up. And guys, you can call it whatever you want. You can say that we continued on a bull run. I'm telling you, the RSIs don't lie. And this strength indicator tells me that the retail market had already checked out of crypto right here. And what that means is that this right here was a manufactured. And listen, we all profited off of it. We all made money off of it. So I'm not saying it was a bad thing. That's not the argument. The argument is that was the end of the bull market right here in May. We were done. We didn't know it. We can look back at it right now. We can see this pump, but this RSI tells a totally different story because look at this. This is the SMA. We were under the SMA while this is pumping. That's never happened. Like, go back and look through here. Like, that doesn't happen. You don't see pumps like that when the RSI is below the moving average. You just don't see that. So let's clear that off. We are at the dawn right here of a bull market. And based on the fact that this went down so far here, and we're down just a little bit further on this RSI, then I would predict that this is probably a predictor of what's going to happen again. We're probably going to see this little correlative run up. And if we're guessing, and we are guessing because that's what daddy do, then we're going to take this right here out to here, and we're going to say this is what the next market is going to look like right here. So that next bull run puts us at 90,000 Bitcoin. That's what it looks like. So, and by the way, it's difficult when you're doing these and moving them. Like you really have to. You can draw it out a little bit and make it show a little bit bigger going up, because I feel like there's going to be more money entering the market. Because if we had a 90,000, where are we at right now? It's 69,000 Bitcoin at 3,000. Then if we went to 90, then that would be a 12% increase at 3 trillion. And that's only $3.4 trillion. And there's no way that the next run is 3.4 trillion. It feels more like it's going to be 4 trillion in this next big run up, because there's going to be more money. There's more institutional adoption. There's more governments involved. Everything positive that you want out of Bitcoin is there. The only thing left is for the governments of the world to find a way to put money in the hands of people. And they always seem to do that. So just believe that it's going to happen again. So back to this. Hope everybody has a bit of Hex. Let's go look at where Hex is trading right now. Remember, not too long ago, we were looking at 3.2 cents on Hex, and that was a low number. So we're probably going to be looking at a 20-cent, 30-cent hex pretty soon. There you go. Congratulations to everybody who was in hex and who had a significant amount of hex. You have doubled your bag during this period of time from right here at the beginning of July the 4th. July the 4th, America. F yeah. If you were in over here, then you have seen your bag literally double from that bottom. Hex is moving up 100% in just over 30 days. So there are not many cryptos that have done that. So yeah, Hex is a magnificent play. Patrick, you're the man. I'm just trying to do a little bit here. BitHex, it's if you take it just a few days back, then you're up 100%. So yeah, that's amazing. What Hex does is nothing short of amazing. I know that there's a lot of different emulators and imitators that are out there that are trying to use the same premise. But listen, if we assume at one point that Hex and staking and the premise and the philosophy of Hex is a specific thing, then that can be their use case, but it can't be everybody's use case because it just doesn't look, it's just not, that's just not the way that it is. July 4 here, you're trading at 3 cents. Now you're trading at 6 cents. Everybody can't just stake. You got to have function and use. And that pulse chain, I can't wait for the pulse chain. That's all I'm going to say. Kakuin token, I don't know about it. What happened to Shinja overnight was pumping. Well, Shinja is doing what Shinja do. And I really don't know or understand anymore what is going on over there. I generally talk to Teddy. And I talked to Cliff, but the last few days, I really haven't had any communication with him. I mean, I can make a guess, but I don't, I can't even for sure make a guess. I think that people are just, fed up with waiting. And by the way, I think it looks a lot worse, by the way, when you look at it, because, it really is kind of an active token. But go back and look at the market cap. Shinja, the once $1 billion market cap, is now a $23 million market cap. So, I mean, it's been on its way down the entire period of time. But you can see here, people, a couple of people that had, and look, if you see this here, I mean, that really looks like a very similar amount every single time. So I would think that that's kind of a pre-sale thing. And you can look here and see that it's the same wallets over and over again. So I think it's a couple of big whales that just gave up and said, you know what, we're out. They've been selling off for the last couple of days or for the last little while. So, I mean, that's all I can say about it. I mean, sometimes people just give up on it and move on. So that's what I think happened. Hold on one second, guys. Sorry about that. So that's what it looks like. And the merger, acquisition, I mean, people are fighting over what the words are so that it makes them feel bad. I have no idea what word you want to use, whatever word you want to use for CVC and Shinja working together, merger, acquisition, whatever it is, use whatever word makes you comfortable. But there's people that are unhappy. Here's the thing though. Even though they're unhappy, it's still trading in the same channel that we created and we did this a long time ago. So guys, I want you to understand, they're not outside of the channel that they were in to begin with. So this is what I would call a tremendous, and I want you to think about this. Shinja is not dead, right? This is a tremendous buy opportunity. This went from this spot up to this spot right here, that's a 50% increase over the course of about 8 days. So if you're looking at it right now, then this is a tremendous buy opportunity. And in the next 8 days, I got a feeling that you're going to see a lot to like with Shinja. I don't know if that lasts. I just know that that looks like a big profit margin right there. That's a dip that you've been waiting for, it would appear. And again, you've been in this channel for how long is this now? 3 months. So, and it's never broken out. You've gone up halfway and back down and back up and kind of middle around here. Now you've hit the bottom again and you're testing that support line. And I would say that Shinja is probably a buy at this point after that dump. So just my opinion. Volt Army in the house. What is going on? Shinja or cryptos could be a parabolic altcoin. That's what I'm saying, man. Shinja's gonna run. What happened to Volt? Nothing has happened to Volt. Volt is trading at 83.74. I mean, if you're asking why it's not at $1 billion market cap, because it's still a meme coin and it has to actually pull out some serious functionality in order to pump the market and to move in a good direction. I mean, that's the simple answer. It fell out of, I did put, by the way, I did have it looking like this, kind of a bullish, which is a bullish pennant, and it kind of fell out of that support line. You can see that it's going back into that frame, but I wanted to pull it out here and say, you know, this is probably more likely. I would think that that's probably more likely the scenario that it's playing out as right now. The 21st is when Volta Change launches, and when Volta Change launches, then you should start to see some real positivity coming through Volt. We're still seeing sideways action on Bitcoin, by the way. The Dow has kicked in, and the Dow is now up 228 points on the day. The SPY is now at 422. So all you stoners, you didn't get what you thought. You didn't get 420. And I'm just going to remind you of that one more time, maybe 2 more times before the end of this. But back to Volt, we are, look, it's going to have a run. It's going to hit, I think it was 300 million market cap. It's going to hit 300 million market cap again. Volta Change is coming in a couple of days. The Volta Dragon Sailors Club, look, NFTs don't move the markets. NFTs moved a market once or twice. That doesn't turn it into this gigantic use case. It means that it's an easy way for people to say that they have some kind of utility, but it's a rudimentary utility. And I don't mean that NFTs in any way are rudimentary, but the functions that we use them for in this market are fairly rudimentary. They're basically for staking or for gaining some profit. You want to see a use case for an NFT? WagMe Games. WagMe Games has a Genesis NFT collection, 3,022 different NFTs, and you earn a % of the yield every month in, I think it's USDT or USDC. Maybe it's Ethereum. I don't know if that's settled science yet, but you earn a percentage every single month as a holder for all of the sales that go on in the marketplace, and that includes the GameStop NFT marketplace and the WagMe marketplace and the Twitch one that you don't know about that I might be telling you about that you didn't know about. But there's some big marketplaces coming. There's a lot of great things that WagMe has going, and that's a serious use case for those NFTs. But not all of them have that, and we don't know, by the way, because Volt on Friday is going to mint and burn all of the rest of the unsold NFTs. So we're going to know how many NFTs are in circulation at that time, and that's actually a pretty cool concept. So, but listen, to me, that pulls money out of the investor's hands and puts it into the NFT, where you have to create value for the NFT. But anything that takes away from your token, from people investing in your token, takes money away from all the other investors. And I hope that makes sense, because if you paid, let's say if you bought 10 NFTs and the price on it was 0.1, then that means you spent 1 Ethereum on NFTs, and there may be value to those NFTs. I'm not saying that there's not value to the NFTs, but what I'm saying is that's 1 ETH worth of your token you could have bought that you're not buying because you've created this collection. So yeah, I'm not really all aboard on NFTs that don't have a real defined use case that is supposed to earn you some significant profit. I think that, those new tokens that are coming out right now that pay in reflections for USDC every day, like that seems like a pretty cool use for an NFT collection, something like that. So, but that's for a future time. So that's what's going on with Volt. On the 21st, we're going to see Volt Change launch. We're going to see a lot of tokens that we know that are part of that ecosystem, and I think that's going to move their price pretty significantly. I did with Pulse Floki this morning and over. That's not me, man. That's not me. Perhaps Gala. I like Gala. I haven't seen anything for a while that's given me cause to, like, it's trading basically dead even right now. Let me get down to lower candles and let's get rid of that, and ching. It's kind of moving with the market, but more like that link scenario that we were talking about just a few seconds ago. ApeCoin ready to fly. ApeCoin's always ready to fly and never really flies anymore. So we'll see whether it does or not. It seems like it will, but it's. I think we were, what was it, 450 or something like that, and now it's at 728. So it's had a significant run up, 50% over the last month or so. I mean, again, we're talking about somewhere at the beginning of July, or where these down little arrows, this downtrend is. So you know what? It's up 100%. So sure. But to me, that's an NFT collection. Tom Brady just lost 196 million on his Bored Ape Yacht Club. So I don't think so. Yes, like the smash button, smash the like button. Crypto Surfer, what's going on? The hat is the voltage shit, man. Ian Highness just called for Pulse Floki up 10,000%. They really are attacking Pulse Dogecoin. Listen, I mean, look, the way that you make a bunch of money in crypto is two ways. You either hold long term, or you keep making these degen type plays. I mean, and these guys do degen type plays, and they make money at it. So as long as they make money, why not? But here's the thing: by the time B Roots or Ian has told you to go buy something, then it's likely that the money on that might not be there anymore. And if you go back to about 2 weeks ago when Ian bought, Ian made a good lick, by the way, on an NFT. He got one of those really rare NFTs, and he was able to sell it for a tremendous profit, right? He got one of those diamond encrusted NFTs on some collection, and he put it up for sale for a big price, and somebody bought it like right away. So he made a good lick. But in that conversation, he said, I needed to win because I haven't been making a whole lot of money off of these tokens lately, so I needed one of these. So that should tell you that even though we're pitching out these tokens, we don't make a ton of money off of the tokens. Again, look, we're making plays. I'm making a play on Ethereum right now, and when you look at where, I don't even know where my trade is going at this point. So let's see. Again, it was 16 ETH. And we were at 27,344. So now it's 30,427. So I'm up $3,100, but I haven't cashed out yet because I'm waiting to see if Ethereum doesn't run just a little bit harder. But you see right now it's kind of dipping. The market is kind of retracing back from this little pump. U.S. market. I don't know if they're going to be letting everybody down. This might be like that. This looks kind of like what's happening right here. And then maybe in the next few hours, we're going to see that run up and finally get out there. As long as we're still in that golden pocket, we're good. And I don't need that 3,000 for anything. But I mean, the fact that he's saying that he's not making a lot of money off of it should be indicative of the fact that he's not making a lot of money off of it. So always look for signs and remember those things. The hat rocks. 500% up on my 100x leverage trade. God damn. All right. Well, share that wealth with everybody. Hey, by the way, if you're up big, leave a tip because that's how daddy gets paid. So what's going on, DNA? What's happening, man? Yeah, we're having a good week so far. What is going on, Jonathan? Good morning, Brian. I am way behind. God damn. Question is, can we go higher than 60K by end of year for Bitcoin. Now, listen, my answer to that is going to be absolutely not. There's just no way. It doesn't feel like there's any possibility that that could happen. Have I looked into Pyro? I looked into Pyro. I'm going to have a debate with Yon World about Pyro. I don't see what everybody else sees. You see, I have it over here on my chart. And if you're looking for it and anybody's looking for Pyro, it's the one down here at the bottom that's down the biggest of all of the tokens that I'm following right now. Now, when I say that, I make it sound bad, but I just think that it's already hit the top, and I don't think it's going up from where it is right now. There's also the principle of three tops. So it's entirely possible that Pyro does more and goes up a little bit more. And we start to see this 5, this 10, we start to see it head up into this 15 area. It is entirely possible that that happens, but there's no use case for it yet, except that it burns. Burning is not a use case. It can burn other tokens. That's one of the selling factors that they used when they sent it to me. And I said, well, what other tokens does it burn? It doesn't burn any other tokens at this point. So when it does in the future, that'll be a use case and that'll be a reason for it to exist. But the burn technology, listen, Burn from Shiba Doge does the same thing and burns the tokens off of the blockchain. Magma burns the tokens off of the blockchain. Pyro is not specials. Pyro is the same as every other one. What it comes down to is how well can it be marketed? And nobody's reached out to me for marketing, so I'm not sure what the marketing plan is. Nobody's I don't have any inside details, so I have no idea what they're going to do. I don't imagine I figure into their marketing plans anyway. So I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I haven't heard anybody talking about Pyro from a marketing perspective. They're trying to do it on maybe a natural thing, and I don't know how it plays out. So, hope it does well, but I just don't know that it will. I don't think 60. No, I think we already covered that. How about the shift working up? That was a fun surprise. Now it seems like things are starting to roll. So for those of you that don't know, Shift Token on October 1st has partnered with Coca-Cola, and they will be featured on all Powerade bottles and on all Powerade sponsored events from October 1 to December 31. That's a pretty long-term partnership. There's a bunch of people that got in early, but this thing is set for just an absolutely incredible run. This right here, people taking profits on this, when you look back on it, like when we say taking profits, like we're literally talking about people that are taking 1 or 2 ETH. It's not a big market cap. So this thing looks like it's a huge difference because it's a percentage basis. But one day, real soon, we're going to be looking back at this moment like this, and it's going to look like this right here on the chart. And we're going to be asking, like, why did it flatline for so long before it launched? That's just because that's the way these things are built. Like, you can't see it on this. You can't see all this stuff on this chart. It's just going to look like a little flat line that happened. But Shift is going through, and listen, when you partner with one of the biggest companies in the world for anything, you are now in the public lexicon and you are in the public eye. Like, listen, I'm drinking a Monster Energy drink right now. If Shift Token was on my Monster Energy drink, there are people who would go out and find it and that would buy it and be like, oh, crypto, I can move to earn. I go work out. I can do my energy drink and go work out, and I can earn crypto. I've heard about crypto. Listen, this is going to be monumental for Shift Token. This is one of those things where if you bought Bitcoin down here at 17,000 today, you're looking at it and you're super giddy about your position, right? This is one of those sort of moments. Shift is going to go out of its mind at some point soon. Brought to you by Coca-Cola and Powerade. So, still don't know anything about it. Mononoke and Hina Inu are pumping. Who is still in that? I am still in Hina, by the way. I do have, but I think literally my supply of Hina is, I don't know. My supply of Hina is probably like $1 or $2 worth. Like, it was that low. Like, it was literally, I sold it off at one point, was like, oh, well, I guess this thing is never going to do anything. What is going on, man? What's up, Thomas? Heard from Shift Powerade pump that Chad. Hell yeah. That's the Chads. The Chads do what the Chads do. They're not in it for they're not in it for all this. Terrarium long-term play. What's going on, Amit? Thank you for the $5 super sticker, man. I appreciate you. Brian, what's going on? Hope you will be invited on Jack's show to get the chance to talk to Russ. Jake's show. And yes, I don't think that I will, because I mean, Russ and I really don't have anything to talk about. I just try to be supportive of them. There's too many people in the market that are negative about Saitama, and I do think that Saitama has a tremendous upside. Now, I did think that they slipped up. They launched Saita Pro, and it kind of works, but it didn't actually work. But if you guys check here and you're interested, look at what the channels that I created here and see how they're playing out. It popped outside, but it went right back up into it. And then it even, like, this is literally testing the support of the line that I created a long time ago. Saitama is a very predictable place where you can possibly make some tremendous profit off of. This 3,500 really should run up into the 5,000s at some point pretty soon. I think that they're, but anyway, back to Saita Pro. I tried to make a trade in Saita Pro, and I put in 15 Ethereum, and it offered me like $7,500 for it. Like 15 Ethereum is worth close to 30,000. So that's not cool. So there's something broken in it. So like, that's not a great look. And I started to see people who were posting about it as we were going along. So yeah, that makes me a little bit nervous. I'm not out here complaining about it, crying about it, whining about it, but I did make a video about it and say that this is what happened to me, that I hope that gets fixed soon. And also, I don't think that anybody named Saitama Guru, and let me go look him up real quick. I don't think that it's good that Saitama Guru posts that's not the one. That's not the one. That's not the one. That's not the one. Here we go. Binance.us. What project or individual would you nominate to join us for our next Twitter Spaces or AMA? Remember, they were supposed to have one of these a few months ago, and Russ is throwing up his hand. Like, I would leave them alone and do that in the background. I would not do this out in front of people, because it's the same thing as what they complain about, is you do these things and then they don't come to fruition. Like that Binance, that interview was canceled like an hour before it was supposed to happen. That's crazy. And by the way, it was a third party. It was not coming directly from Binance. It was a third party that's sponsored by Binance that was doing the interview. So I'm not saying they were doing a deal with Binance, but it looks like that. If it quacks, it's a duck. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that's a good look, and I think you should stay away from that, and let somebody else do that. That's what you need other marketers for. That's what you need. Like, I heard a rumor, like, let's get this thing happening, and let it not be from the CEO or the COO, because that doesn't serve anybody well to have him out there doing that, especially if it doesn't happen again, because it gives people like me the opportunity to FUD it even more, and you don't need that. What you need is for people to see this. This is a really good looking, a really clean looking interface that's very simple to use. Now, there were a few things that I did have a problem with. Like, I thought maybe a couple more zeros would help, like little mini things that over time I'm sure that they're going to implement because they're almost no brainers. But like, I really like what I saw from Saita Pro. It's just a wallet, just like everything else, but it's clean. You know what it is that you're looking at. I don't like the greens and the greens and the reds over here. Like, there's something a little bit odd about them to me. Maybe it's my eyes, but like, I don't like they don't feel clear at these colors with a dark background. Maybe something like that. Or maybe it's the color scheme, or maybe it's the font, something, but they'll work on that and they'll get that better. But that's a very minor squabble. Otherwise, Saita Pro looks really good. Starl just invited me to a private thing. So I'll give you an update on Starl in just a short while. I need to get into their thing, and I'll let you know. A UFO, I don't really know anything about. I've never talked to anybody. I've done one video on them not a long time ago, so I don't have any comment, positive or negative, about UFO. Other than I think that it's going to have a good run. Like I like what I saw from the game concept art, stuff like that. Shiba Doge. I'm still in the chat with Shiba Doge, even though I'm not partnered with them anymore. I'm still in the chat. We still talk and shoot the breeze and stuff like that. So at some point, or there's probably going to be content coming out from Shiba Doge. But they're walking their own path right now, doing their own thing a little bit, waiting for the market to turn around. But look, when the market turns around, oh, by the way, for those of you that don't know, that's what got stolen out of my wallet. I had like $2,000 in Shiba Doge. So I'm not even an investor in Shiba Doge right now because somebody stole $2,000 out of my MetaMask wallet using a hack. By the way, that hack was from a game called, I think it was like Demon Lords or something like that. It was Evil Hunters. I got hacked by a game called Evil Hunters, and they drained my MetaMask wallet, which I don't keep very much in there. Like, it's just offshoot stuff. But they hacked it and took everything out. And it really wasn't even, look, everything else that I had in there was staked. So none of that was taken. So, you ding dongs. You know what I mean? Like, you could have gotten so much more. But I changed everything and so I don't even have any Shiba Doge right now. I went to them and told them what happened. And then I just kind of moved on. I mean, they never offered, by the way, they never said, like, listen, when somebody got robbed from Volt, and listen, this is something that is probably important. I don't need anybody's handout, by the way. But I told them what happened, and I said, that sucked. And then they offered to like, let me show you how to secure your crypto and stuff like that. I'm not saying they weren't helpful, but when that happened to Jazz on Volt, what did Volt do? Volt gave him the crypto back. They saw the transaction, saw how much he had, and they said, look, let's just make this right. Let's take care of you. So, I mean, there's certain things that you look for in a crypto project that make you feel good or bad or indifferent, and it comes in weird circumstances. I felt really good about Volt when I saw that. I didn't feel as good about Shiba Doge when I had the same thing happen to me, and they didn't say, hey, look, it's only $2,000. Let me, let's. They went through my wallet, by the way. They looked at the wallet, but then nobody from there kind of reached out and said to me, hey, let's make this right. Let me hook you up. So, because even though, we're not partnered with you anymore, you're still an investor. We want to help you out. So nobody really did that. So, still love them though. It doesn't let me donate because of my location in the Caribbean. Morning Deadwood. Don't worry about it, man. Just because I'm not in that play doesn't mean that you can't reach out to me at any time, man. We're not going to do that. That big run on the way in the past year. Yeah, look, if we do the chart that I just played out a little while ago, that doesn't even get us to 70,000 by December. That's way more months than we have left. So I just don't think that there's any possible way that we hit 70,000 by the end of this year. How about Cardano? Cardano is making significant waves right now, but it's not sustained. You go back here and you look, like 45, great buy opportunity. But listen, it only pumped up to 53. Like, when you do the math on that, you can even look at the low here of 40 and go to 40 cents to 54 cents. That's a 25% increase. I mean, Ethereum has had a bigger increase than Cardano. So Cardano is struggling, and they're going to keep struggling until Cardano is functional and completely usable, and until everything plays itself out. Cardano is just going to be Cardano. There's going to be Cardano maxis that love it. Everybody else who's like, well, when does it do something? And in between, is going to be the rest of us talking about it one way or another. DJ, what is going on, DJ? DJ, I need a new hat, man, because I'm about to get this one all bloody and shit. Can Saitama hit a 3 billion market cap by end of year? 187. No. Maybe. You know what? Maybe. There's an outside shot. That's a 20x. So, yeah, it could do that. ETH going to 3K next week. I'm not sure about that, but I like the spirit. I like the spirit, man. The same Binance hat Russ was supposed to have on AMA was the one. Exactly. Right. They have the same problem. Where's Henoch? I have no idea. I thought he was doing updates with his wallet every day. Look, I've never talked to Henoch. I don't know who he is. So, I regretfully was joking about him at one point, like 6 months ago. But we were never friends or anything like that. So, it's okay. He didn't hear. But anyway, he and I are not friends. I've reached out to him, by the way, a couple of times. He never reaches back out to me or anything like that. So I'm not on his radar, so I don't really worry about it. Yeah, that's that Volt Inu, son. What's going on, Crypto Law? I don't need to do that. You played the game, got hacked. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But again, there is a comparison that I do have to make in my mind to what happened. Did Russ ever pay you for naming Saita Pro? No, I got nothing from. Look, I didn't even get a thank you from anybody for that. But you know what? I mean, really, I don't. I kind of like Rodney, like joking about it and making fun of it is better than actually being recognized to me. Because I mean that's the fun. Like I don't need the recognition of Saitama. Like if I can provide a Saitama investor who's nervous about it with some sort of sense of either positivity or negativity based on an honest assessment, that's the best that I can hope for, and that's the best that I can do for an investor on any project. So I don't need the recognition. I don't need to be on Jake's show to talk to Russ either, because I don't know that we really have anything to talk about. Like I don't really have anything good or bad or indifferent to say to him. I think that it's very difficult probably for him to hear because I've heard the way he tries to dress down other influencers when they say things and they're not informed about what's going on with Saitama. So, at the end of the end of that thing, I probably just end up thinking he's a bigger prick than I already do. So, I don't see value really. But hey, Jake, Russ, if you want me on, I'll be on, and I'm not going to be a dick. But I will point out some of those hard questions. And I would ask, how, why do you think that it, look, if I were going to ask a question, Russ, several months ago, you were about to have an interview with Binance. You didn't have the interview with Binance. It was supposed to be scheduled for in the future. 3 days ago, you sent out a tweet about Binance.us. Who should we have next on our show? And you raised your hand, but there was no closure. What happened to the previous interview? And don't you think it's a little bit irresponsible for you as the COO to raise your hand on that Binance.us and then bring back some of the questions about why didn't that happen before? Like, that's not the kind of look that you want as the COO. I would think that you should have somebody else do that if you're going to do it, but that doesn't give us a good look. Also, why was why were you trying to trade my Ethereum for only $500 instead of full price? And why does your font look green and red and kind of suck? Like this green and red font over here, I can use that one, but for theirs, it's just a little bit too dark, a little bit too odd. There's just something a little bit off about it that makes it kind of hard for me to see. So, But I don't care about all that other stuff, by the way. So been thinking of selling all my Shiba Doge and burn tokens because it doesn't seem like they're doing any building. So they are. You're just not seeing it. So just give it a little bit of time. Like I mean, again, I'm still. Um, I still have. I still think that they're going to do. Listen, the biggest crypto being held in the wallets of Shiba and Doge whales is Shiba, Doge, Ethereum, and Shiba Doge. So that means that some big whales are still heavily involved in Shiba Doge. They're going to pump this at some point. So I would stay with it and just wait for that moment. I appreciate you, man. Check out Vulcan Forge. They seem to be running extra hot. All right. Venu is called Venu, faster than Shiba transactions. Have you heard? I have not heard about it, but I'm about to find out about it. Jasmine 50 million market cap. It's on Binance. Saitama Pro is your baby. Morning money chasers. What's going on? All right, guys. That's my alarm. That is my time. I got 2 videos coming out today. I got a Volt video coming out. Then I got a Bitcoin video coming out. So if you want to see more of me, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and then watch my content and rejoice, or but I did add a little bit. If you and just DJ, by the way, let everybody know I did add some comedy into some of my videos because I thought it was seriously funny. And if you wonder what it's going to be like, I did an Ethereum video last night as kind of a test run to see how to edit and create it that way. So I did that, and I was kind of happy with the final product. So I'm doing it again today. So I hope you guys like it, and I hope that you get as much a kick out of watching them as I did in making them. So this is not financial advice. My name's Bleaves. I am always right, and I will see you guys later tonight on Bedtime with Bleaves. You guys have a good day and trade safely.